What up? We back. We back, bro. I was watching a podcast, right? I was checking out a podcast. It was a Gears of War podcast, which is unusual for me. I don't think I've ever seen one until yesterday. So I'm watching this podcast. It has Domez or Dome Easy, Red Icy, and Avexes, right? I'm watching it. I just coming home from work yesterday, so I'm listening to it because I'm in the shower by this point. And it was a very interesting discussion. And I'm not here to review their podcast. I just thought it was very interesting. So they was discussing all the pros, the cons of what the new system is for E-Day. They was talking about what would make E-Day a good game, what would make E-Day a bad game, what needs to be taken out, what they need to keep in, the competitive scene of Gears. When was Gears the last time being competitive? So I'm like, yo, this is a very mind-stimulating conversation. So I had a thought. I was like, a random thought. I was like, yo, out of all the Gears, which Gears were the highest rated Gears of Wars in terms of the critics and the fans? If I was to find it score wise, if I was to be like, look, I want to find on paper that this crowd got a better score than this game got a better score than this game got a better score than this. And then I was like, what changes, or what part of the gameplay, or what part of the entire game of E-Day, what would make that the highest rated Gears? If the coalition was like, yo, we want this game to be the highest rated game we've ever made, how would they do that? What would they add to the game? What would they take away from the previous games and not put in E-Day? How would they do the campaign? So I looked up, I said, yo, let me look up what was the highest Gears of War. Highest rated critic wise and the highest rated user wise. Apparently, I'm looking through AI, I'm looking through, they went on Metacritic. I'm like, all right, cool. Apparently, Gears of War 1 is the highest rated Gears. It's the highest rated Gears, critic wise, right? Gears of War 1 is kind of like, all right, this is the first of its kind. We never seen nothing like this. The multiplayer, we never seen nothing like it. How the game plays, we never seen nothing like it. The impact of this game is what it should have been, which is groundbreaking, earth shattering. Of course, it was the highest rated. It might even be the highest rated amongst users. When I looked through AI, Gears of War 2 had the highest user score. Gears of War 2 had the highest user score. And it was only one down from being less than Gears of War 1. Gears of War 1 had a Metacritic score of 94. Gears of War 2 had a Metacritic score of 93. User score is 8.4 on Gears of War 2. And then Gears of War 1 is 8.2. Gears of War 1 had a lot of bugs. It had bugs. It had a couple things going for it that I could see why users is like, yo, man, nah. Gears of War 2 freed up the movement a little bit. The campaign was compelling. I remember when Gears of War 2 dropped, or was about to drop, and we were so excited because we saw Cliffy B. Cliffy B, he come on stage with the chainsaw. He's hype about the game. We seeing the Brumac. He's talking about chainsaw battles. We was like, chainsaw battles? Oh my god, chainsaw battles. Oh, doing all that stupid shit. Then they started putting up footage. They was like, yo, we gonna put up some footage for y'all, man. We got gameplay footage. Back then, bro, they was feeding us. We going on the YouTube, we seeing new gameplay. Marcus is on these new trucks, these big ass trucks with Dizzy. Dizzy was riding these I forgot what they call these things, man. But when you first meet Dizzy, we was like, yo, who is this dude that's wearing a Louis V do-rag under his cowboy hat? We like, yo, who is this? Who is this? Right? First time we meet Dizzy, he's riding these trucks and we gotta knock him off. We gotta knock these locusts off because we driving somewhere. And watching all this footage, going on IGN, going on YouTube, hitting the filter and going to today, updated today, trying to find the latest footage. This game was really special, man. This was a special game. It was nothing like it because we know what Gears of War 1 did, and then we was like, damn, this Gears 2 is it. Then I go up and I look up Gears 3, right? Me personally, I believe Gears 3 is the best one. That's me personally. Gears 3 was the climax of it all. This was, yo, who the hell is that? Who is that boss character? Is that a human? We looking at Mirror like, yo, who the hell is this? We like, yo, how are they gonna survive this? What is Dom gonna do, man? Dom, he grew out his hair. He looks like he's losing his hope to fight, his will to fight. He's losing it. And we like, damn, this is it. This is the final one. The gameplay, I thought it was the best. But we was kind of used to seeing Gears. Even though we was all hype, we was all waiting for this game to drop. I can see why Gears 2 did what it did. Now, let's get to E-Day. I'm like 8 minutes in. E-Day is... I don't know how they're going to rate the game. I don't know what to expect. A lot of things have changed. And in that podcast that I mentioned before earlier with Domez, Icy, and Avexis, there was a lot of things that they discussed. And one of the main topics they discussed was how, yes, Gears of War has a hardcore fan base. But Gears of War is hardcore. Gears of War is sweaty. The sweaty class of Gears of War ain't gonna be the people that takes this thing to the promised land. It's not. It's the casual fan. It's the person getting off of work trying to turn on the game and play. This is why Call of Duty is at the position is at, even though they make the same game every year with slight changes. They appeal to the casual fan that just jumped out of work, has money, and wants to play his game. That's the main thing. You get off of work, you got money because you're working. If you want to get a microtransaction, you do that because you got it. You want to play an hour of your video game because you just came home from work and you had a stressful day. It's a different group that they're appealing to. The hardcore guy might not even have a job. The super hardcore, 12 hours a day, 6 hours a day, 7 hours a day. He's dead nice at the game. He keeps the engagement up in the game. He might not have the money for the microtransactions. So when they doing their charting, they're doing their charts in the room, in the conference room, and they talking about, yo, what can we do to sell this game? What can we do to make sure Gears E-Day sells the most that it can? From that podcast, another thought just came up. There was like, yo, Gears of War never had a thorough tutorial mode. They never taught you how to wall bounce. They never taught you how to do this. They never taught you how to do that. They never taught you how to do a reaction shot. They never taught you how to really play a game, really play the game against the monsters that live and breathe this shit. The monsters that been around since Gears 1. The monsters that been around since Mad World. What has Gears done for the casual player? And when I think about it, they haven't really done much. They haven't done much. They made the casual player suffer. They gave the casual player a Lancer and a Ganasher and a map, and they said, here you go to the wolves. For a budget of $400 million that apparently Gears of War E-Day has been on or is using, or what they've been running on to make this game, that is a tall order. That is a very tall order. What can they do to make Gears of War E-Day a 10 out of 10? That's my original question. That's the question that I want to ask the people. That's the question that I want to ask my subscribers. That's the question that I want to ask the guys on Twitter that sees the clip. That's the question that I want to ask the Facebook guys that see the clip. That's the question that I want to ask the Instagram guys that sees the reel. What can Gears of War E-Day do to make this a 10 out of 10 for the critic and for the user? Let's think about it right now. Off the head. You got to appeal to the casual fan in some way. Cool things have to happen. Cool things have to happen at the right time, at the best time, to keep the casual player on and keep playing. There has to be incentive for the casual and the hardcore player to keep playing. There is a fighting game right now. I know we talking about Gears, but there is a fighting game right now called Virtua Fighter 6 that's coming out. The developer mentioned something very interesting. He was like, yo, and as you know, if you know, Virtua Fighter is one of the hardest fighting games to play. It's one of the hardest fighting games to learn. Even though it only got a few buttons, but there's a lot going on with it. There's a learning curve. The developer said, yo, we still want to have the high skill ceiling. And guess what? I am paraphrasing. We still want to have the high skill ceiling, but the entry into the door has to also be easy as well. So you can have a high skill ceiling and at the same time make it easy for the new player to jump in. That's the perfect balance. That's the perfect mix. That's the secret sauce that this Japanese developer or Korean or whoever he is that made Virtua Fighter 6 and is making Virtua Fighter 6. He said that in an interview and I was like, yo, he's right. You have to do it like that. You have to bring in the casual fan. The casual fan has money. The casual fan wants to use your game as stress relief. The hardcore fan ain't really the guy that you can rely on to get every single microtransaction. When I was listening to the Domes, the Avexies, and the Icy podcast, the one episode, they mentioned this. They all pro players. They all play at the highest level. They all was just like me, just like my friends. They was, but of course they went to another level with it. They was playing for hours. They learned how to wall bounce before somebody on a tutorial said, yo, this is a wall bounce. They learned how to do this before. They put paint in to have their hands move a certain way before they added turbo to the controller. These guys that's jumping in on this game, they're gonna be coming from similar games, but nothing like Gears. They're gonna be coming from Arc Raiders. They're gonna be coming from what other third-person game is there? They're gonna be coming from Fortnite. They're gonna be coming from PUBG. They're gonna be coming from this one. They're gonna be coming from that one. The graphics on Gears is what's gonna be bringing people in. The goriness, the intensity of the game is what's bringing people in. A lot of people are coming to play this game. When they first put in that game and somebody hits them with a crazy wall bounce and they die in fucking a second, they're gonna turn it off. So I'm like, damn, what's gonna make this game a 10 out of 10? Number one, you gotta have a great fucking tutorial. It took me 20 minutes to get to number one. Maybe there's other numbers that we talked about in the game already, besides appealing to the casual player. This falls under that umbrella. This falls under that umbrella. Your tutorial mode has to be thorough. Your tutorial mode has to be thorough. All right? Without a thorough tutorial mode, the game ain't gonna last for the casual. Number two, the skill ceiling. Yes, you make it easy for the casual to come in, but you must give the casual and the hardcore player a goal to reach. They gotta look up and be like, yo, I think I could learn that, be great at that, and nobody else would be this great at it, or very few people will be great at this. Let me learn this new skill that I seen to where I'm separated from the pack, to where I can hit high on the ranks because I learned this thing, this high ceiling skill. It has to be done, bro. If the skill gap is readily accessible for everybody in this game, it's not going to be good. It's not going to end up being good. The casual player, unfortunately and fortunately, is the main focus. You know what casual players like? Casual players like cool shit. We like cool shit. I want to see a lot of cool shit. The executions have to be phenomenal. Like good, really good. If somebody wants to, and Domes, Evexes, and Icy mentioned this in the pod, if somebody wants to pay for something and not waste no time on a microtransaction, they should be able to pay for it. If somebody wants to put time in to get it, let them put time in. Let them complete all them challenges to get that special skin. Let them waste 20 hours to get that special skin. You got to give people a choice. You got to give people a choice. Don't ramshack them and don't force them to do shit except for have fun. You got to make people want to jump on your game and play. How can they do that with Gears E-Day? How? There has to be incentives. You got to make incentives. Yo, what is this game giving me to make me want to keep playing it? Your netcode has to be phenomenal. Gears of War ain't a game where I've ever had a problem with netcode wise. Not since Gears 1. Nothing I think of. Maybe Gears 2. I don't remember. But the netcode has always been at the standard. So your connection got to be good. That should be a given. What's going to make E-Day the highest rated game of the Gears of War franchise? The balance has to be perfect. The balance has to be That's the main thing that's gonna make this game, make or break this game. From the things I mentioned, it has to have a high skill ceiling, and the ceiling to get in the door has to also be small. It has to be a small gateway, like a big gateway for people to get in. The gateway, the entry has to be big, and the highest skill ceiling, the skills that you need to take to get to that point, it gotta be smaller. It gotta be, everybody shouldn't be able to move like how they moving in Gears 5. That's why they're slowing it down. There has to be other tactics that makes this shit look cool. People want to get hype when they playing Gears of War. People want to get hype when they playing the game. People get hype when they play Valorant. People get hype when they play Valorant and they hit that headshot when they bust a corner. People get hype when they play Fortnite and they building up, and then they beat somebody in a build battle. They barely make it out with all they shit. Something has to make these people hype when they play in this game. What is it? What cool thing are they gonna add that makes people go, oh? What cool thing are they gonna add that's gonna make people want to watch your video when you talk about E-Day? What cool thing that they're gonna add that's gonna make your E-Day video that you post on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook get hundreds of thousands, millions of views off of gameplay footage? What thing are they gonna look for in E-Day where it's like, yo, I gotta find this tutorial, bro, because I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to get that? How can this game be the best Gears of War? Gears of War 1 had a 9.4 Metacritic, the highest rated Gears of War to date. Gears of War 2 had a 9.3. Gears of War 3 had a 9.1. What can this game do to be renownedly the best Gears? There will be sacrifices. There's going to be a lot of things that the hardcore guy is not going to like. There's going to be some things that I'm not going to like. But I want something fresh and new, and I'm ready for change. Not everybody has that mindset. Not everybody has that mindset in life about things. I want this game to succeed. I want this game to make the most money that it possibly can, because I want to see another Gears after. I want to see more DLC after. I want to see more creative spin-offs after. I want to see just updates after. This franchise has birthed a lot of kids. There's a lot of offspring from the Gears of War franchise. What would gaming be without Gears of War? I don't know. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine it. But that's all I got. I can't really think of nothing else that'll make this game just a 10 out of 10. Oh, the skins, the gun skins, the DLC skins, the microtransactions, you gotta make people want to buy them. You gotta have an abundance of these things. You can't just do a couple and do a couple and do a couple, and the people want to get fat. People want to play a game and be like, yo, there's just so much to eat. Let me start here and then let me work my way up. All these are so cool. Jesus, I can't. I'm about to spend 100. Fuck it. I'm about to spend 100 because I want that, this, that. Have an abundance of DLC, skins, outfits, costumes, emblems, wallpaper. I don't know what you're gonna put in the microtransactions. I don't know. Get creative with it. Make people want to buy your shit. Make people want to buy it. You're gonna have to bring the characters back. Unless the new characters are cool, but you have an assortment of characters. Bring characters from Judgment. I want the red-haired girl from Judgment. Bring characters from Gears 1, 2, 3 just for the multiplayer. They're not in the story. Just bring them for the. People gonna want Coltrane. Hey, if people want Coltrane that bad, make them pay for it. If people want Beard that bad, or a version of Beard, make them pay for it. But you gotta have that incentive. Yo, this right here, you gotta play blah, 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 to get him. But if you really want him, you're gonna have to do this or pay for this. Give people incentive. That's the key word. Incentive. Gears Ide become successful because there is an incentive to play for the casual. There is an incentive to play for the pro. There is an incentive to play for the aspiring pro. There is an incentive to play for the kid that just came from school. There is an incentive to play for the dude that just came out of work. There's an incentive to play for the white collar worker. There's an incentive to play for the black collar worker. I mean the blue collar worker. There is an incentive to play. Give us incentive everywhere. Incentivize everything. Don't make nothing seem like a chore. If you want to play horde casual, you got to put some cool shit in there to make people want to play it. What's the cool thing? What's the next cool thing? You gotta get creative. Take that ayahuasca, lay down, and really think about it, y'all. Coalition. I know y'all can do this. There is a game that is on the horizon, literally a month after you drop. There is a game a month after you drop. That is GTA 6. What incentive does the person that loves GTA and loves Gears, what is the incentive to where they're going to be like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna drop neither game, or they want to never drop Gears? You got to think about that. The guy, or the way how society is right now, the way how the gaming world is right now, the way how the atmosphere is right now, it would be easy for a person to drop another game for GTA 6 just because there's so much incentive. I'm not a GTA 6 guy. I'm not a GTA guy. But there are billions and millions of people that are. This game hasn't had this success just because I don't play it like that. There's a bunch of other people that play this game. What's gonna make you gotta go for the kill? What's gonna make the guy that's playing GTA 6 be like, yo, you know what? I don't need all this complex shit. Me having to do all this. I just have so much fun just doing this over here, Gears. I just got so much fun doing this. It's just the right amount of advanced shit, the right amount of casual shit. I love the guns, I love the graphics, I love the characters, I love the campaign, I love this mode, this multiplayer mode. Oh, multiplayer modes. Listen, a lot of things got to get revamped, a lot of things got to change. In Gears 1, execution was my favorite game mode of all time. Execution was my favorite game mode of all time. You know what the problem was? Back then, we had a lot of patience. Back then, if you died, you had to wait a little bit. You watch people play. All right, cool. Boom, 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 boom. We was really playing execution. We ain't fuck with Warzone. I ain't like Warzone because you could shoot somebody from deep while they down and you kill them. Execution, you had to walk up on them and execute them. That's the only way to get a kill. Execution was one of those games. Today, we have ADHD, so today, people don't want to wait 3 minutes for the next round. What are you going to do to make incentive to play online for people to just jump on and play? There has to be a mode to where people jump on and play. Is it going to be team deathmatch? No, you got to revamp it. You got to change it. You got to make it, do something different with it. Domes, Avexis, and Icy mentioned this, right? It was like, yo, they need to not do the revive system. Like, yo, everybody has a pool of health. And not pool of health, but a pool of lives. And When them lives run out, everybody has one life now, and whoever's down to the last life, that's who loses the game after they lose all their lives. No, give everybody a goal. You need to get 50 kills. You need to get 50 kills or 100 kills or whatever. First to make it to this wins the match. That's what it's got to be. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. What are some other things that'll make Gears E-Day the best Gears? What can they do to make this game a 10 out of 10 if that was their only choice? Yo, we want to make Gears of War a 10 out of 10. Give me a list or give me something to add to my list. I'm out of here.